Welcome to our little presentation on how to edit forms inside of the DW Alliance system. Okay, so our system is pretty big and we have a lot of features and the data goes into multiple different places. The majority of the things you're going to want to be added to know are relatively simple. You have the first name, your last name, and other contact information. And things that you may or may not. And what happens is that you say, I don't really need this thing called badge name, so I don't want that on my form. So how can I get rid of that? Okay. So to get rid of that, you come over here and you go to your domain name /CRM, and it's going to bring you to the login page if you're not logged in already. And then you enter your login information. And so I am a template administrator, so the system knows who I am. So inside the CRM, we have this thing called Edit Templates. You click that, and you select the template that you want to edit, right? So we're going to go back to this form over here. We're going to click Refresh. All right, and now the system will know that I'm a template administrator and expose those links for me, or actually put them into the page. Okay, so we're going to open that inside of a new tab. You look inside here. Now you can't just load this into like your favorite HTML editor if you want to. Otherwise, you just look inside here and you look for the word that you're looking for, badge name. So what we're going to do is we're just going to remove that section by commenting out, right? Okay, so those are comments. You can hit Control S and that'll actually automatically save it. Let's do a little refresh here. And voila, badge name is gone. Let's say, for instance, I change my mind and I want that badge name back. So I can just take and remove these two. Right. Okay, so I now remove the comments, save it again, Control S, come back over here and refresh, and voila, the badge name is back. So that's relatively simple. There's another aspect to it though. It's like, hey, there's error messages associated with those form fields. So the way you change that is you go into the CRM we logged in earlier, go to configuration, and then inside here you select form management. This allows you to manage the forms in the CRM in the store. And the data that you're managing from those forms is, and it's not all forms. Like we were saying, it's a pretty complex system. We have directories modules, we have event modules, we have demographics, and of course contact information of your contacts and customers. And primarily what this tool does is it manages just the contact information, or those aspects of the form. And so we look over here inside the descriptions and also the thing. So store, login, contact. This page allows the contact to change their own information, or registration page for end users. Now that's what we were doing over here. This is the registration page for end users. So let's go over here. Store, login. Click back, click update, and that refreshes the page with more information. Okay. And over here it gives you the description of what each one of these things does. You can get a little more information from the message about each field. This is the error message that pops up that if it's required, like if you say that's required, then they're going to get this error message if they don't complete that. And always if you select required for something, make sure that it gets updated. But sometimes you don't really care if it gets updated or not. Maybe you really don't care if you get address 1, line 1. Right? Maybe you just don't care. That's okay. So let's go back to this badge name. Now we want to make sure that this FF, see that right there? It says new array. And over here it says FF_1. And over here, I'm going to scroll down to where we get, so this is all alphabetized. So So you have FF underscore 1, not updated. So that wouldn't work very well. So let's go ahead and put that as being updated. We're going to go ahead and say this is required and put please enter a badge name. Now you can see on our form over here that we already have an explanation for what the badge name is. And the badge name is, in this case, is what's going to get printed on the person's badge when you go to print badges. It comes up bigger. So some people want to go by Jonathan, but a lot of people named Jonathan would prefer the nickname of John. And that's what a badge name is. It's just going to show up John, and beneath John is going to show up Jonathan something else, their last name. Alright, so we've made it required, and we've made it updated, so that's now it's properly configured. So then we just scroll to the bottom over here, and then we click Submit. Now, let's go ahead and try submitting that without the badge name. Come over here, you click Submit, the server comes back. Oh, it says please enter a badge name. Alrighty then, we should do that. So let's enter a badge name. I like to go by the name Jump. Okay. The reason I left everything else empty is just to kind of show you that, hey, it does really work. So remember previously it said please enter a badge name. Now it didn't because the system saw that you entered a badge name, so it's not going to ask you to do something that you've already done. So that's how you edit this basic contact information form fields. We have the demographics information inside this. We have directory information inside those, and I can cover those in another video. But for the basic contact information, this is how you do it. You edit the template, right? And then you edit then you use the form manager to actually control how the form works. And actually, once you've made all your changes to the form, and also if you notice, I went and tested that form to make sure it still functioned. One of the mistakes that you can make with a form is that you make some changes to it and you accidentally break it. And it could be something like, let's say for instance that you had opened up this HTML inside of Dreamweaver, or rather than just inside this editor, and you kind of dragged around with Dreamweaver, where it has the tendency to put like number 2 or number 3 right behind that name right there, and that would actually break that part of the form, or possibly the entire form. So you always want to come inside here and test things. Now we're going to click Make Live. And now that template that I just edited is pushed into production so that your end users can use it. Now typically you wouldn't do too much form editing once your site is launched. This is usually a pre-launch sort of thing. Alright, and that is the end of this video. If you have any questions, make sure you email us at support@dwonlabs.com. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.